So I guess we'll call the meeting to order at 7:03. And as is our custom, we say the Pledge of Allegiance first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So two of our trustees are excused today, but we do have a quorum with 3 members here and Yvette, the library director. So we'll get started. We first want to recognize Jennifer Schaefer for 10 years of service to the Merrimack Public Library. Is there anything you'd like to share with us, Yvette?
Jennifer works in our circulation department, and she is a great team player.
Mm-hmm.
Always happy to take on whatever projects are happening at Circ. It's great to have her in the team.
Great. I've always had wonderful interactions every time I've
Yeah.
gone in. She's lovely. So
I have
yeah,
too.
yeah.
I haven't
So
had it. No, I mean, she's wonderful.
so we just want to say thank you to Jennifer. We really appreciate your dedication to the library and our community. So thank you. Wow, it doesn't seem like 10 years. Like I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been on the board for that long, but just, having seen her in there, it seems like that time has flown by. So,
Yeah.
Okay, great. So moving on to our old business.
Can I just ask, I'm sorry,
Please.
Janet, were you going to take care of her gift card?
Where?
Okay. That's what I wanted
Yes.
to know what the parameters were, so.
I emailed that to you.
Yeah, but
I just don't know where.
Okay.
But I can take care of it.
I will let you know.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody had a chance to look at the minutes, but I did, and the action items are in the back of them. So I will go through our action items from the last meeting, which were for me to arrange dates to meet with Ann Warner, which I have not done because I was not sure when Sohini would be available again, and I do feel like strategic planning, we do want to make sure that we have a full board present. Obtain the request for proposal, which I actually sent that to everybody. I hope that you got that, the request for proposal document from SMP, I think.
For the fundraising consultant.
Yes, for the fundraising
Yes.
consultant, okay. And then discuss chiller, heating, and finance. So Janet, Yvette, Joanne, and I met to look at the different financing things. And Janet, did you have any further information on that? Okay.
No.
Okay. I know that this was on our agenda for today, was to discuss the chiller. Since it is a bigger item with our budget, I do think that would be something that perhaps we could postpone the vote until March, because that is, a fairly big undertaking. So,
Well, if
go
I
ahead.
could just add on my to-do list.
yes.
Was to have the vendor bring quotes, the updated quote for the chiller and then quotes for the rest of the project. So he needs to bring his team back for a on-site visit.
Okay.
So you'll
So
have.
we're waiting on those quotes still.
Yeah, so you'll have more information in March.
So I'm going to put it down as that one of our action items that we're waiting for the quotes for on that. In full project. Yeah, Mike, since you weren't there, we are looking at, does it make sense to undergo an entire change, replace all the heating structure and whatnot, or if it makes sense to do it sort of piecemeal. So we're waiting to see what the different costs are and how we can do that best. So, okay. We also, it's not on here, but we were going to talk about the Quimby Fund recognition, and we did not do that at the Finance Committee meeting. So I think we need to do that again.
I looked it up,
Okay.
and it's once every 3 years.
Okay.
The only thing that I made a comment about in my prep notes is that maybe it would be good to contact the family just to get information about Barry that they might want shared.
Well, we have that information.
Okay.
But I can-
Okay. Then it's once every 3 years.
So that being said, I don't think we should wait 3 years. I wonder if we should put that like on our agenda so that it gets done now and then, so that, and then it goes another 2 or 3 years. I hate to see it
Yeah.
fall to the wayside, like while it's top of mind, there's no harm in doing it now. And
Sure.
then it would be 3 years from now, could be part of it also. So people who are involved with the undertaking of the trust and all that, we kind of can do the first one and sort of make it a model for how to go
Sure.
forward. So I still think, I mean, that's just my opinion. I think that'd be something to do,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay.
Plus,
Right.
we did before it all got transferred to the trustees of the trust fund, we took a distribution. So we could tie it into that
Okay,
as well, if we wanted to,
so,
or if you wanted to.
so if, Eva, if
you
you have
wanted
that
to.
information, maybe you could share it with us and
Yep.
then we could come up with a draft of it and take a look at it and
Okay.
then we could bring it to the trustees in March just to show
Yep.
them what it is and have people vote that this is what they want to have going forward, so. Okay, great. Okay, so those were the 3 action items on the agenda. SMP, we're still waiting to see, because we have many steps before we pursue this further, any sort of building idea. Copier is there as a placeholder. Strategic plan, we're waiting for, when Sohini is back, I think we can move forward with that.
Question.
Yes.
So, how do placeholders work on an agenda?
Well, we know that the copier is something that there's been conversation about, and SMP is something we're going to come back to. We don't have any news right now with them, so yeah, I think it's
Okay.
there because we're going to come back to it. SMP is also something that we don't want to fall off our radar because they are the architects that we went through the initial site selection with, and so as we're moving forward in the process, there will be more conversations with them, so.
I think, Mike, you can just write, no update.
All right.
Also, actually, I think given that the reference staff have been very thorough in trying to document everything and where money goes, the more deposits are getting included into the copier account, you could
Mhm.
say. So we can,
So you feel like copier
can
has like
take that
served
off.
its time
Yeah,
and
I
it's
mean,
been, it's
it'll-
been,
I know.
it's been on there for a while.
I
So,
know.
so the concerns that were related to the copier have been addressed through other management of funds.
Right.
Okay.
And the only time it will come up again is if there's a legitimate, hey, we need a new copier. And
Okay.
then that is when it will.
Okay, so
Really
moving
come-
forward, we can remove copier from
Yes.
our agenda. Okay, great. And then strategic plan and the chiller, which will both be coming up for the next meeting, so. Okay, so no update on any of those right now. New business, policy review. Yvette, you have some things for us?
I do. So. I wanted to have you look at, the notice and billing schedule. This is, more procedural than policy, but because when you voted to do away with fines, there were some questions from the board about, are you gonna send notices? How will people know that something is overdue? And this is how,
Okay,
so just so you know. So that's the first thing. The next thing is I have the Library of Things lending policy and the waiver reviewed by the town attorney. The Library of Things lending policy is actually replacing the kit lending policy because the kit lending policy expanded a lot to include not only Lego kits and other things that we were describing as kits, but now all of the things, and it's just a lot easier to have one policy for things that are the same.
okay.
Do you have questions about this?
actually, is the notice and billing schedule really, is just a, it's an FYI to us?
Yes,
Okay, that's what I thought.
yes. But if you have questions about it, I
No,
can.
nope,
Okay.
I had no issues with it. I was like, ooh, this is good.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah.
And I don't have any issues with the Library of Things lending policy.
And the waiver.
Or the waiver.
Okay.
I didn't have any, nothing.
And it was reviewed by the town attorney,
Mhm.
so.
Yep.
Okay. Mike, do you have any questions about the? Okay, so I think that the sooner we can vote on this and get this into place, we need to know that you're protected, that the library is taken care of. So I'm going to make a motion that we accept the Library of Things waiver for the informed consent form for equipment. So,
I'll second.
okay, any further discussion?
Hold on, I need a few minutes to write it down. Can you repeat it, please?
Sure, it's actually the document that Yvette sent
Oh,
us.
okay.
It's the Library of Things waiver, informed consent form for equipment. So if after we vote, do have a question, but more procedural question about this, so. Okay, all in favor? Okay, 3-0.
Are you including
No,
the
I
poli-
just did
Okay.
the library, the consent waiver.
the waiver? Okay.
So if I sign this, is it for any time I use a Library of Things item, or am I gonna sign one of these every single time that I come in? Just,
It's specific to certain items.
okay.
And
And when I return the item, this goes away and I have to sign a new one? Okay,
yeah, because we had to discuss, record keeping.
Yep,
And
yep.
how long we keep it and how we keep it. We have to keep it secure. So I think the easiest way is to sign
Mhm.
it and then shred it when it's
Okay.
over, because that lending period is over. So
Great.
we're gonna, once it's put in place, we can try things and
Yeah.
see what works the best. But our main goal is to make sure the patron who's checking out a particular item is made aware of the waiver, signs the waiver during their time that the item is out is secure, which means their privacy is protected, and it's not hanging on a bulletin board somewhere, and then it's
Mhm.
disposed of.
Great. Okay, then we also have the Library of Things lending policy. Any questions about that one? Okay, then I'll make a motion that we approve the Library of Things lending policy.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, any further discussion?
Oh, wait, we didn't vote on the last one.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
We did? Okay.
Yeah, you raised your hand.
I did.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, all in favor of the Library of Things lending policy? Okay, 3-0-0. Great. Do you have anything else for us, Yvette?
I have the fee schedule,
Mm-hmm.
which is something that has been posted on the website. The staff, we would like to suggest some changes. The interlibrary loan charge, which is $3 per item from postage. Max and Casey had discussed this, and I included in your packets their rationale for having this just absorbed into the municipal budget. It's already being paid, but then it's paid out of our postage line, and then the patrons reimburse the trustees as a fee. So there's not a straight line to that, but it's really a deterrent for some folks who want to request an item that's out of state and would require some postage, and then they'll just say, forget it, I'll just buy a copy of myself. So, you know, they just feel that we should just absorb the cost in the postage and not ask for a reimbursement. It's not a lot of money. That's one. The other thing, the credit card processing charge needed to be updated to $1 versus $2. We're also proposing that the non-resident notary fees is removed, and we just would not charge non-residents for notary services. It's less than 5% of the documents are from non-residents. And then we had listed on this fee schedule the cost for K-cups and water bottles, and that just doesn't seem to make sense here right now. So, and we haven't even returned that service to the library. So this is what we're proposing.
Okay. Any questions for Yvette? Go ahead, Mike.
I thought the state required a notary fee.
We don't charge residents,
Huh, all right.
so it's just an out-of-town charge,
Oh,
but
all right.
I don't remember why we put that in place when we started doing notaries, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, this all makes sense to me. I'm just going to be picky and say pick a C or a K. That's all I want.
They would like to have C.
And then let's change the other one to $2, because at the other side it says $2 disc with a K. Can make it a C.
I didn't catch that.
Yep,
So sorry.
that's all right. That's like,
It's gonna be
once I
C.
see it, I can't unsee it. So just pick one.
I'm glad
Okay.
you see it, 'cause
All
I
right.
didn't see it.
Okay. All right. I mean, these make a lot of sense. So, any particular reason why the transaction went from $2 to $1? Just
Oh,
for-
that was a choice on the GMLX board.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just consistent with what all the
Yes.
libraries are doing. Okay.
Mhm.
Any other questions for Yvette? No? Okay. Great. So I am going to make a motion that we accept the new fee schedule.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor? Great. Thank you. It was nice to have the additional information as well, the chart, to kind of have this make sense for the interlibrary loan. So,
Good, I'll let them know.
Yep.
I believe we also sent you the media relations policy,
yes.
which we had no changes for.
And I also wanted to bring that up because I wanted to make sure, like, because of the issue, the situation where you had posted something, I wanted to see if you wanted to talk about the media relations policy.
I recuse myself.
I don't understand.
That's about me.
It doesn't
And
matter. You're a
policy.
public official. We're allowed to talk about it.
Really?
Really?
The, the non-public only protects employees. So
Oh,
sorry.
I got a lashing from the town manager the other night because I talked about a chainsaw that was mine. And then they
Oh.
voted on it.
I don't understand. I'm so confused. All I wanted to.
Well, that's off topic for
Yeah.
us.
I just don't want to, get him after me again.
No, I'm asking you. So, our policy really clearly states that the chairperson is the spokesperson. And so I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page and see if you needed further clarification
I have
about
no
that.
problem with that. I'm just confused. Like, if we have something big, like a message that we decide to put out,
But
yeah,
we
you're
didn't.
the spokesperson. But if
Yep.
someone says in a comment, what's going on, and I say it's being worked on, that's.
But, well, unfortunately, and I shouldn't say unfortunately, the policy would say that you would not speak for the board. And since you used "we," or the board and I did this, it sounds as though you are speaking for the board. So that is the concern. And also the information was inaccurate. So that's
It
another
was?
concern.
It's
Yep.
being worked on as inaccurate?
Actually, you said that we were in the process of a new library, which we're not.
Did I?
Yep. And you
I don't
also
remember that.
said that the new library is in the works. The new library is not in the works.
Well, technically it is.
No. Nope, it technically is not. We as a board agreed that we would be investigating the MYA site and that the next step would be that I speak with the town manager.
Yeah, it's in the
That's-
works.
No, that is not a new library. That is an investigation of a site. And one of the problems is when messages get out, they can be misunderstood. We would never go forward without all the necessary steps. So to give the impression that we were have a building in the works is not correct.
But did I say building?
You said, and I quote, "It's a decent size, 2 floors. The new library is in the works, which will solve
Oh.
the issues with the building." So the new library is not in the works, right? So we don't want to give people the impression that that's happening. So that's one of the reasons the chair would be the person that speaks to these things, because the cohesive message, and we want to make sure we're getting the right information out.
So if someone asks a question, even if the information is in public session
You might
here,
notice that I don't
can't do
post.
it,
I don't
despite
post any.
being elected?
I don't post anything about the library on the forum.
You
Actually, I
don't?
don't. No,
You don't post anything at all about
Yep.
the library?
that's right. That's right.
So nothing's getting out despite you being
Nope.
a spokesperson?
Nope. You're inaccurate, because the library staff are the ones in charge of promoting the library programs. That's their job. I'm here to support the library and to convey messages about what the board is working on. It is not my job to promote the library over social media. Do I talk to people about it and say how great it is and have personal conversations? Yep. But I don't post anything on the forum as though I'm the representative. That's the difference.
All right, I will correct myself and use I in the future.
Yep, or you can say, this is my opinion, and I'm not speaking for the board, if you wanted to do that sort of thing. But I also just think that it creates a confusion. It just creates confusion if it gives the impression that you're speaking for the board. You had also brought up the legislation and said that we wouldn't be able to have authors if that passed, but that's not true, because the background checks that are being legislated are for volunteers, not for paid performers.
But
So-
if you read the, what is that, National Library Association, whoever sent us the email, their article said that.
It's for volunteers, not for paid performers. Isn't that correct, Yvette?
It's volunteers.
Volunteers. So if we pay a performer, it's a different situation.
But then they'd be an employee.
Nope, contracted, we just pay them like a fee. Yep, they're not an employee. Yeah, so just please be mindful of it, and anything that you say in the context when there's the library is being it's being talked about will be seen as coming from the board. That's the thing, and you just want to make sure that the right information is getting out. Yeah.
All right.
Anything else? Okay. All right. Any other policy issues? I know you sent the bylaws.
Mhm.
They are due to be reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Actually, it's the same version,
Okay.
but we did it in January of '21.
okay, so
Okay.
so we're
So-
good. So the state is wrong on there.
Yeah, it's this, but we didn't change anything because I was like, okay, doing the back to back.
Okay,
and,
good. Thank you.
But I found it from an email from Karen back in, and it has like the date.
Okay, so
So I
we'll
need
just
a
need to
date.
update that.
I will update that.
Okay,
Thank you.
awesome.
So
All right. FY 2021-22 budget.
So this is your general ledger, invoice, manifest, open POs. I don't know if you have any questions about this.
it's all good. I didn't have any problems or issues or comments or questions.
Okay, I'm also gonna add, just because we're talking about finance, I sent you the print statements. Did that make sense to you?
Yep, quarter
Okay.
2, 3, and 4.
Okay, yep, all right, good.
Okay. So we are on your report.
My report, okay. I'm just gonna make sure that we're touching everything.
Do I have to write all this down,
What?
the report?
No, just the things we vote on. The things we vote- And you don't have to hand transcribed all of
It would
those.
just be Yvette shared her report.
Yeah.
And maybe the stuff you vote on. So we did receive a couple of donations. We received a donation of 6 puzzles and 1 puzzle mat from Kimberly Collins. We would like to add these to our Library of Things collection.
Okay, I will make a motion that we accept the donation of 6 puzzles and 1 puzzle mat from Kimberly Collins.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Great, thank you.
Okay.
I love puzzles. That's exciting.
do
And I'm
too.
like, I really want to get a puzzle mat. I might have to borrow the puzzle mat just to try it and see how
Yeah.
it works. So,
It was 6 puzzles?
6
Six
puzzles.
puzzles.
6
Yep.
puzzles and 1 puzzle mat. And they're in excellent condition and brand new. The next donation is that we received a donation of a picture book entitled The Miracle Workers by Renee Marsh with illustrations by Sumi Colina. This donation is in memory of Edward Joseph Herman, who passed away in March 2019. Mr. Herman has family who lives in Merrimack, and he just, his birthday was this fall, so that was the acknowledgement of the birthday. And we'd like to add this to our collection as well.
Great. I will make a motion that we accept the donation of the picture book entitled The Miracle Workers in memory of Edward Joseph Herman. And the donation was by, does it say who the donation
Yep,
is?
Sumi Colina.
No, that's who
Um,
the
It's his family.
oh, his family. Okay.
I'll
Right.
second.
Thank you. Okay, all in favor?
What was
Yes.
the title?
The Miracle Workers.
I heard of that book.
Okay.
And we received a cash donation of $30 from David Geyer from sales of his drone photos 2022 calendar.
That's cool.
They are really cool to see the pictures he takes. I don't know if you've seen any of them.
Yeah.
I wish I had a drone like that.
Yeah. So I will make a motion that we accept the $30 cash donation from David Geyer.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Great. 300.
How do you spell his name?
Geyer.
All right. $25?
$30.
30.
I'm not sure if you have questions about the department reports, but I just want to draw your attention to the legislation that we're watching. The New Hampshire Library Association has hired a lobbyist. We've just renewed her contract for this year, and she is watching these bills. It seems like a lot of things are moving very quickly, and I know Lori Fisher at the State Library, she's our advocacy chair, and Randy Bro is our legislative chair for NHLA, and they send emails to us, but they also send emails to the NHLTA listserv, so you might be seeing these updates as well, but just things that we're watching. The new one is school district warrant articles, where in Jaffrey and Ringe School District, there's a warrant article saying that the school board would require the public library to hold curriculum materials. But the situation with that is one governing body cannot compel another governing body to do something, because for you, the trustees, you decide what to do without influence from a school board telling you that you have to hold things in the library. So it can only be a recommendation. That's one thing. And the school curriculum access is already mandated in several of the New Hampshire RSAs, so it would be redundant for a public library to hold it. This warrant article is not on SAU 26 Merrimack, but it is in Ringe. So we're just watching it, and it seems to be the same wording. Lori Fisher sent out an email yesterday saying she had spoken to the Office of Intellectual Freedom at the ALA, and it's language that's coming from outside of the state. There's a larger organization that's pushing this legislation through.
I was gonna say, what's the motivation behind it? Like, why?
You know, I could only speculate.
Oh,
It
okay.
could be sowing distrust of governing bodies, of school boards, of teachers, librarians. I mean, the language has a lot of, parents are the guardians
Oh, yeah.
of
Yeah.
children's knowledge, and it's like, sure. You know, but then it gets very sticky
Yeah.
depending on how you want to educate your own children.
Hmm. I mean, I'm sure it's in different, obviously it's different in different states, but New Hampshire already has a law on the books that basically says if you as a parent don't like the curriculum or something, you can write a letter and be like, okay, my kid is gonna do this and
Yeah.
something comparable.
Did they just pass that?
So, oh no, it's been
I
there.
thought it,
Because we did it.
oh,
Okay.
When my kids were in elementary school. So we,
Mhm.
they have a new one right now that's going through. That's about curriculum and stuff. Like the parent can put forward a different curriculum for their kid.
Mm.
Parents' rights bill.
Hmm.
Silly.
Well, this is how it affects the library.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And just to keep you guys up to date and make sure you're on the NHLTA
Okay.
listserv
Mhm.
so that you're getting the same information, but.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. Are there any questions for Yvette about her report or anything on her report? No?
Yeah, I mean, we're, in terms of my to-do list,
Mm-hmm.
waiting to hear back from the roof vendor about the slate roof options. We just talked about Barry Quimby's trust. Johnson Controls, you'll have that in March. Hopefully the same for the sprinkler. We had, you'll remember, we had a CIP for replacement of the carpet. We did the, all the different tests for various chemicals and stuff. So now we're just looking at carpet. So,
Great,
it'll happen, but there's so much lead time for things like that, and
mm-hmm.
they'll be able to replace carpet in sections. There might be one day that we'd have to close because of the main area, but I'll just keep you informed with that stuff.
Okay,
But it's
Great.
in process.
And your Mill City iron is coming.
We
for
just
the-
got that quote today. And I don't have a drawing, so I can't imagine what it looks like, but I can include that in March.
This
or-
is for the railing. in
This
the-
is, no, this
This
is
for
actually
outside?
for the interior
the interior.
main
That's what I thought.
stairwell that the, what's it called? Oh,
Joint
shoot.
loss.
Joint loss, thank you. The joint loss, pointed it out to us. It's not to code and they have issues with it, and so we have to do something about it.
Right.
But we do have a quote finally for the interior stairwell, and
Yeah, that was a long time coming.
vendors were really busy.
Yeah.
With big projects, not little projects like the library.
mm-hmm.
But glad to have a quote.
Great.
Yep.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
Okay. So our fines, this is for the month of January. We started with $6,919.59. And we ended with $7,147.99. And then in special, we started with a beginning balance of $37,392.53, and we ended with $37,775.38. I take that back. It continued on the next page. So it was actually 36,973 and 51 cents. Did I write that down? It's in a different notebook. Next month, I'm gonna have to, there was a DCU depositing error.
Yeah, I thought that had gone away, but that's like been an
yeah.
ongoing thing.
No, it got fixed,
yep,
and then new people.
Okay.
So, and it's a DCU issue, not a library issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have the numbers, but like there's some that went into fines that needs to go into special, and there's some that's special that needs to go to fines, and I wrote it down just in a different notebook. So
Okay.
I'll bring it in March.
Okay. Sounds great. Okay. Any questions for Janet about the treasurer's report? Okay, then we have two minutes to accept. We have the January 18th public meeting minutes, which I had a few corrections to, which I will make notes on my one and pass it along to our secretary. Thank you for filling in Karen's absence, Mike. So do you have the minutes in front of you? Anybody else have them? I noticed that, let me find where there was something that I thought, oh, that's not correct. Let me see if I can find it.
Are you in the public?
On the public meeting minutes, yeah. Did you have any corrections that you noticed? There was one thing that, oh. Yeah, just on January, you know what, now I can't find it. Let me see if I can see this. Maybe I was mistaken. Yeah. I must have been mistaken. Okay. Are there any comments or corrections other than the ones I thought I saw, but I did not? No? Oh, I know what it is. Okay. Under old business, strategic planning, it says to be discussed December 6th and 13th with Ann Warner to use the frameworks for strategic planning. That doesn't make sense to me, so I'm not sure what happened. Do you see that under C for old business? So, yeah, I'm just going to actually, I'm not sure what we discussed, but that particular statement doesn't make sense to me. So, I'm just going to ask that be struck from the minutes, and we'll just leave C, strategic planning, in there, and then there'd be a D in front of chiller heat, just to make it clear. So that was what I saw, because I don't understand what we were talking about. Maybe to be discussed December 6th and 13th. That was.
It might be old.
Yeah, so that could have been something from an old minutes that got copied and pasted in by mistake. So, so I'm going to propose that we accept the minutes with the changes of the everything after strategic plan being struck and a D being added to chiller heat for clarification.
I'll second.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
Can you repeat what changed?
Sure. I'm just going to, under old business, under strategic planning, I'm going to strike what it says there, because it looks like it was maybe perhaps carried over from previous minutes. And then added D in front of chiller heat, which is the next bolded item, just for clarification.
All right. Repeat that one more time, under old business.
Under old business, and for under C for strategic planning, we're going to remove everything that comes after that, which was, looks like it was carried forward from past minutes, perhaps. and then add a D in front of chiller/heat, just for clarification.
Undersea, not included.
Right, correct. And I will let Karen know about those changes, just so her copies are updated. So
What are we adding?
we're just adding the letter D next to chiller/heat, just for clarification.
Okay.
Okay, great. So we have a motion to accept the minutes with those changes. Janet has seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Great, thank you. And then we also have the January 18th non-public meeting minutes.
I accept them as is.
Okay. You want to make a motion to
Sure.
accept? Janet has made a
I'll
motion
make
to.
a motion to accept the non-public minutes for January 18th as is.
Okay, I'll second that. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Great. Thank you. Okay, moving on to committee updates. Nothing from the Building Exploratory Committee. The Friends did have a meeting, and there was some discussion of some programming opportunities that the staff was considering for ways to work with the Friends. Is there anything that you wanted to tell people about? If you, I'm looking through my notes here.
Trying to remember, I don't have minutes, but.
I have that they were looking at programming opportunities. They talked about maybe something for I Love My Library Month in April, or National Library Week. The Friends voted to support the bags for adult
Mhm,
crafts.
that's right, yep.
So they're going to do that. And it sounds like they're going to just talk with your staff, that your staff was going to work on some ideas for them. So, yeah, that's what I have.
That sounds right.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think that there's, and I think that the possibility of a book sale is like there. It's like there, and they're talking about it, and they're thinking about safe ways and investigating options and that sort of thing. So.
Are
okay.
they taking donations?
We are, but we're going to run out of room soon.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Merrimack Public Library Development Fund Committee has not met since I informed you of our meeting. I met with them in December. They have not met since then. The Town Center Committee, Karen is our contact there, so we don't have any report from them. So moving on to the Library Committee updates. Did everybody see, did you guys get one of these from Karen? It's in your,
It's in your mailbox?
Oh, I have never gone to that mailbox.
yes, so you need to go there because there's actually waiting for you
I
there.
thought it was a shared mailbox.
It is,
It is.
Yeah.
and, but you have a folder in there? So did you get a key?
Yes.
Yep, so you go and, unlock it. It's right in the lobby area, and then you'll have your folder for, it has your stuff in it. So there it was a copy of the interview questions for the department head, which she said she was going to give us, and then also a copy of the annual review. And I know that Sohini, who's the other member of the personnel committee, is not here to look at this with you, but this would be something the personnel committee would look at to determine if you wanted to make any changes and that sort of thing. I am happy to give this to you if you want to take it to look at it.
I'll
So-
get the folder from
Okay,
the thing.
perfect.
Probably an inch thick by now.
Okay, sounds good. So there's that. So, we do want to, March is when we have to do your evaluation, correct?
Between
March.
the deliberative session and voting day.
Can you give me specific dates? What's the ones that, do you know when they are by any
It's
chance?
like
It's
March
on here, I think.
9 and April, look at you.
It's on here, actually. So
Okay.
the town deliberative session is March 9th. So, we really need to schedule some dates for the trustees to get together
Mhm.
to go over this. The way it's worked in the past is that we all meet and we go through this, and then bring ours that we've already gone through, and we come together and kind of come up with one working document, And then we meet with Yvette, who has also evaluated herself, and we kind of have a discussion back and forth. So, so probably what the best thing to do would be if you want to take a look at it, see if you have any thoughts on it, any suggestions, and then when Sohini is back, which should be soon, then we can set up another meeting where we will meet in non-public and go over Yvette's document. So, all right. So if you want to take a look at that and see, that would be great. To the department head, I've only heard from one person. Did you give them a deadline?
For what?
The people who were interested in the executive department head?
I don't think I gave them a deadline.
Perhaps you could ask them if they're interested to do it within the next week or two, because I've only heard from one person, and so if people don't know that, they should probably let us know they're at
Okay.
least interested.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can find out.
And if there's only one person interested, so be it. I just don't want to like.
There might be,
Okay.
because I've had one person say, thanks but
Okay.
no thanks, so I'll
Okay.
follow up the third person.
Okay. Great. Just so we know, we want to
Yep.
give. I don't want us to move forward
Okay,
if people were never told. Like, just let us know if you're interested. So, okay. All righty. So yes, put that on our agenda. Also, would be that we will have to meet after March 9th to begin this process. So it's pretty smooth sailing, you know. We think so. I don't know how Yvette feels about it. It's easy for us. So, okay. Let's see. Finance committee. We met. We're waiting for those quotes, and then we'll be moving forward. So, okay. February's action items. We're waiting for the quotes on the chiller and the full project, HVAC project. We are going to work on drafting a recognition of Barry Quimby related to the Quimby Trust. That we are going to set up some meetings with Ann Warner. We're going to do that once I know for sure what Sohini's schedule is. And we are also going to, the Personnel Committee will take a look at the Library Director's annual review from the document from last year, propose any changes they think need to be made, and we as a board will need to schedule some dates to meet to discuss that. So, okay. And Mike, I can give you the action item list if you want, if that's easier, if I just email it to you.
Do I have to write all this in that?
The action items are usually in our minutes because we refer back to them, but I can just type this up, and since I've been taking note of them, and email it to you to be included.
Okay.
So, okay. Is there any other business to come before us before I go through our upcoming events? Okay. Upcoming events, filing period for town offices are February 23rd, 2022 through March 4th, 2022 at 5 p.m. Friends of the Library have a meeting scheduled for February 28th at 7 p.m. Oh, which actually reminds me, I am not going to be able to attend that Friend of the Library meeting, so I'm wondering if there's another trustee who would like to do that.
Nose goes.
Does that mean yes?
No.
It's it's via Zoom. No,
What is it?
it's the Friends of the Library.
Oh,
You could meet the friends, they can meet you.
what day is it?
It's a
It's
Monday.
It's Monday.
28.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, great.
What
Then
time?
7 p.m. And it's on Zoom, so it's and they're really nice.
Am I gonna get a link?
I will send it,
Okay.
thank you.
And the town deliberative session, thank you for doing that, is March 9th, 2022 at 7 p.m. at the APR at JMU's. The Merrimack Public Library Board of Trustees monthly meeting is March 15th at 7 p.m. And the Merrimack Public Library Development Fund Committee is just to be announced, so there'll be another one at some point. Are there any additional items?
Can I just ask if
Please.
are any of the trustees going to be at the deliberative session? I'll be there. 'cause
I'll
I
be
have-
there.
I was gonna say,
I
I'll
c-
probably be there
Yeah,
too.
I can
Okay.
be there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure. So yes, we will be at the deliberative session. So, have you heard anything or like,
No,
no? Okay.
just
No, I just
Um,
didn't know if there had been any feedback from the town or town council that we were just unaware of.
Not about the library, but I went to the public hearing last week that the town council had to, hear feedback about the, budget, the proposed budget and different warrant articles. I know that the non-union, staff, Paul is proposing a 2.5% raise for them.
Hmm.
So that was the information he didn't have yet when we were going over the budget because
Mhm.
he was still negotiating union contracts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, good to know. Yes, we'll be there.
Okay.
Okay, great. So, since there's no further business, I will make a motion that we adjourn at 7:50. Yes.
Becky got back to me finally, and she said the other Thursdays are open. So you guys
For
know.
meetings, so we would have to vote as a board to change, or
Yeah.
other
But we can
Tuesdays.
do that next
Tuesdays
meeting.
or
Other
Thursdays?
Tuesdays.
Thursdays.
No, we meet
Or
on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, whatever it is. Yeah, what?
So is it,
Yeah, second and fourth Tuesday is fine.
Yeah, we're not gonna meet on the fourth Tuesday. You're not gonna get that one to float.
I was just getting all the dates.
Yeah, I
Oh.
don't think the fourth is gonna work because of different vacation things. That's gonna be a tough one, so.
I'm free every day, so whatever everyone else is comfortable with.
Yeah, that's, so if, you mean, that would have to be a board vote to change our
Mm.
meeting date, so, it might be a hard sell. That's all.
I'll bring chocolate.
and
What's
when we
that?
have our, in April, after,
Hmm.
after the vote, it's technically a new board, it's a new year. We can,
Well, it's not like we're gonna get any members, right?
you never know.
You never know.
She's the
never
strongest
know.
candidate in town.
No, don't be silly. Like, you know what? It would actually make me really happy to see that there were contenders. Like, I would love contenders. That sounds wrong. Contender. No, but that there were other people who were interested in serving on the board. Like, I think that's always good. Like, I would welcome that, to have that interest.
Usually
So,
we have Mickey Mouse written in.
you
so-
know, I did beat him last
Did
time.
he?
I was a write-in candidate, and I did beat Mickey Mouse. So, yes, a whole host of celebrities I beat.
Yeah.
So,
Good
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, thanks. It was great. Anyways, okay. So, that's it. I will make a motion that we adjourn at 7:57.
I'll second.
There was
Okay.
something else, but I forgot. Should
Okay.
have written it down.
Okay. All right. All in favor? Great. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
All right, hold on. I gotta write that.